I'm sorry. Farrell's just saying that she sees nothing. She probably didn't connect correctly. I don't know.
Probably. I wonder if she connected to my link. Dr. Brown had sent another link, but
I put in your ID, that
yeah.
ID code that you sent.
Yeah, whatever I sent you, right? Which I don't even remember what it was.
I can tell you. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll send that to her.
Here, let me invite her.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know how, but I will try.
I know. I can send you the ID if you want.
This Jeannie. Let me. I know. Here.
Just forward.
Farrell, I'm talking about.
There's a little invite button over here, so I was able to invite her just now. But and I know Miss Nancy also had said something. But anyways, so we've been using SeeSaw for, I don't know, since whatever, at the beginning of the year, sort of. And at first, honestly, it seemed really cool, but kind of hard to, some of the things kind of hard to maneuver. The kids absolutely love it. The one thing that I just took a few webinars and I learned something that I think is going to make life so much easier for 4th and 5th. For people like us that, we kind of co-teach, SeeSaw, the way we had it set up, we would see everybody's posts. And so then it makes it really hard to kind of go and only look at yours without seeing everybody else's. And I just learned a way that we can actually just look at whatever you assign. So I'm gonna share my screen so that I can just kind of, go over what I think might help. Hold on.
Not there yet.
Let me see if I'm good at this. There we go. So basically, the first thing you need to do is go to web.seesaw.me. And in there, you're just going to sign up for free. Right now, they're offering, free signups. I know that the school has an account, but I don't even know how that would work. So since they're offering it for free right now, I mean, it almost seems like, why mess with the whole doing it through the school link? So after you've signed up, basically then every time you're going to be going into SeeSaw, you're not going to go through this address at web.seesaw.me. You're actually going to be going in through, hold on, somebody's here. Miss Farrell. Hi, Miss Farrell. She's about to join. So.
Okay, good.
So basically, when you go into SeeSaw, you're going to be going into this other window that's app.seesaw.me. And this is the screen that you're going to be seeing, okay? So once you see this screen, it's basically everybody sees this screen, the kids, the family members, and the teachers. So you just basically click on the appropriate link as according to what you are, what your role is.
Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
We don't see you, but we hear you.
You don't see me?
No.
I see you, but you're in the shadow.
I'm in my shadow. Okay, I'll move. Sorry.
That's okay.
There you go.
Oh, there you are.
Good. I see you.
Hello.
There she is.
Sorry. Keep going. Don't let me stop you.
So make sure that you guys, so for example, when the kids log into as I'm a student right now at home, you would need to print some QR codes and like 8-letter codes for them to access their own account individually. Okay, and we'll go through that a little bit later. But when you sign up as a teacher, so you log in and you can either just go in with your password or, through Google, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. And I guess I was as a teacher. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna show you what, kind of what it looks like. So up here on the left, that's kind of like what all the classes that you might have, okay? So I click on that and I have, 4A, 4B, 5A, 5B, and then I also created another class for my soul group that actually I didn't need to do that. At first I thought I did, but now I know how you can just assign things to individual students, and so you can really individualize things, okay?
Right.
So for example, if I wanted to create a new class just for the, I mean, I will not do it, but you would just put the name of your class, whatever grade it is. So, and then it starts, so I'm just gonna say it's 4th. I'm gonna say, whatever, demo. And this little green check, that's kind of like SeeSaw's submit button. And it works for everything. When students are submitting anything, that's kind of like how, or even when you're assigning an assignment, that's what you do. You just go, sorry, Ms. Farrell, Ms. Ricardo, I know you guys are familiar with all of this, but I will get to some of the other stuff.
Don't worry.
So then you have all of that. However, setting up a class is what I noticed that we, as the four of us, had not been doing totally right. And I don't even know how to get rid of my little, there we go. So like if this is my class, right, my demo class, it always assigns a sample student, all right? So if I want to add more students, I would go right here where it says students, and I would just, oops, sorry. Actually, sorry, that was my bad. See, I'm not even that good at this, but I'm learning just as you guys are. Oh, right here on the little branch. That's where you go. And so right here, this is what is important when you guys are setting up a class. So, you know, whatever your name, all of that kind of stuff. If you have a co-teacher, so like Ms. Cabrera, like you could actually assign whoever is co-teaching with you. And this is what we did. We kind of, the four of us in 4th and 5th, we have everybody on all of the classes so that we can all see all the kids. And that way the kids only have one code as opposed to having multiple codes. All right? So
Okay.
the one thing that is important right here where it says student sign-in mode, when we first started 5th grade, we did put that 5th grade was going to have an email or Google account because they were already using their emails. But the rest of the 4th graders, since they did not have emails, we said that we were using this right here, a class code or shared devices. Doing this, you know, at school, if we were at school, that works fine because you can just scan the QR code or they put in this code each time and then they access the whole class. However, now that they're at home, you really don't want this because this prevents you from being able to, hold on, somebody else is coming in. I don't even know who it is, but by doing that, when you, if you do this class code, when you're reviewing their work, it does not allow you to send it back to them. Let's say they're missing something, you want to send it back, it wouldn't allow you to. But if you do either email or Google or this one-to-one device, it will allow you to do that. So I'm just going to say we're going to be doing this. It's asking you, you know, to confirm that, and yes, just say yes. So now I know that my students supposedly in this demo class will be having shared device, one-to-one devices, okay? This takes me back over here. If I wanted to get their learning codes to send at home. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you recording this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You can send this to us afterwards?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
So that
Sorry.
I can hear all my mistakes. But
No. We can, okay.
no, I am recording it. So basically, right here, if you're setting it up, you know, where it says home learning student codes, you would go in here and you would print all the codes or download all the codes, right? And then you would send each one of those PDF files to each family. And so what this looks like, it's basically, it has a printout with all the instructions, and then it has a picture of a QR code, and then the 6 or 8 letter code. So they can access it either by just, if they're using a mobile device, they just basically scan the code and the QR code, and that's it. If they're using a computer, they type in those 6 or 8 letters, and then they're into their own personal account. All of these things, you know, students can see each other's work. That's up to you. I've left mine where they can see each other's work. That way they can see kind of, you know, if they have a doubt or whatever. But if, let's say you're doing it as an assessment, then you would click that off and you would say, no, they cannot see each other's work or whatever. But, you know, so these are just the different things. This family access, you would want it enabled. And what this does is you can then invite families by tapping their email. And what this does is that it allows every time a child posts something, their parents get an email or some notification kind of so that they can actually see their child's work. And the only work they can see is their child's. They cannot see anybody else's. They cannot comment on anyone else's or anything like that. So it's almost like a like a personal YouTube, because kids can actually record, they can post things really easily, they can take pictures. It's actually a really easy way of sharing things, especially now that we're working remotely. You can enable a class blog, which would basically then, it would be just like a blog of everything that has been approved by you. And I will go into that in just a second. You can actually start doing like a ratings scale. So for grading, like you could just say how many stars basically you're giving them, and it would, grade it. I'm not using that, to be honest with you. I'm just going through it, and then on my little clipboard, I'm keeping grades. But so folders, this is where Jeannie, I was telling Maria that I just took a webinar, and I just realized that for co-teachers, this is super important that we start doing, managing folders. So I'm gonna go into my account so that I can show you this better, more so than through this. So I'm gonna go to my classes, and I'm just gonna choose, for example, 4A, okay? And so if I want to, I wanted to assign an activity to them, I would go right here on this green button and say, actually, I would go to activities first, and I would say add an activity, okay? So I'm gonna assign them something. Once I'm assigning, I can either choose from my library, and these are things that either I have created, so you can see like right here, oh, sorry, I don't even know what I did, but I clicked on something I was not intending to. You can either choose from whatever you've created that you want to assign to them. You can create a new activity, or you can go to community. If you go to community, there's lots of already created activities, and it's going to suggest things based on the grade level that you told when you set up your class that your class was. So since I went into 4th grade, it automatically goes to 4th grade activities, and you can kind of start filtering by subject, or you can just go into the right here into the search button and kind of type in whatever you might want. So for example, let's say that you want a book report. So you would say like there's something called a book snap. Those are actually pretty good. So this book snap, for example, I would just, let's say I like this one right here. I would click it. Oops, having issues with my mouse. And this is the instructions on what the activity you're asking the kids to do would be like. So this is what the students would see, okay? Snap a picture of your page, use a pen to underline the exact text that you're referencing to. So basically the kids, what they do is once they see this activity in their feed, they would go to respond.
By the way, 4th
Yeah.
grade is reading this book right now, 4th quarter.
I'm sorry,
4th grade is going to read this book. They just started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how about that? So then you can use this one since it's already created for you. See? Even though it says that it's for 11th, 10th, you can always modify it. So if you go right here to these 3 buttons, you can assign it and then edit it. But I'll go through that. So, but the kids, it's super easy for them to use. Basically, if they have a mobile device, they just, instead of this assign button, they would see submit button or whatever. I'm gonna go into a sample student role so that you guys can see how it looks for them. But let's say I wanted to assign this, I would just go assign it. I would click which class of my classes I want to assign it to. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna assign it to 4th grade. And this is where those folders really come in handy. So for example, let's say I'm only assigning it to my SOAR group. I would go right here where it says edit students. And now I would uncheck them all. And I'm only gonna assign it to the sample students, right? And then I'm gonna go to folders. And in folders, I've already created, for me, I've created a math folder. So, well, this is not math. I don't wanna see it in math. I wanna create a language arts folder. Right? So I create a language arts, and now I know that I want that assignment to show up in language arts. And so then that's it, I'm done. It's assigned to only the sample student, right?
And then those kids go into that, as they finish that assignment, it goes into that folder?
Yes, and they don't even know it. They just submit the regular way. But for us teachers, I'm gonna show you, when you go to review, then you go to that folder and you only see things from that folder, as opposed to seeing everybody else's stuff. So let's say I don't want to assign it today. If I wanted to assign it immediately, I would just click right here on this green button. But if I want to assign it next Wednesday, I can just, you know, assign it on a specific date. So I would just say it's going to go on the 1st at whatever time, right? And that's it. And I click on the check. And so now it is assigned on that day. So I'm going to show you now, if I were a student, how it looks. And let me make sure I can get into this. But so activities. So let's say, actually, we're not going to see that assignment because I scheduled it for next week. So it's not going to show up right now. But this is like right here, tense art is one of the things I assigned to my 4th graders last week. So I click on this. And if I wanted to add a response, I would go right here, okay? This is the teacher's view, for example, right now. So if I were the teacher and I'm going to be reviewing what they have done, even for grading, this is like a great view. By clicking on the, here, I'm gonna go back to explain it. So if I'm going to be grading kids as the teacher, I go to the activities. I click on the activity I want to review. So I would go onto this one that I want to start grading for them. And then I have an overview of who has submitted things and who has not. And then I can start reviewing each one of them. So like these ones that say draft, what happens is I already reviewed it and I noticed that they were missing something. So I sent it back to them. And you're only able to send back work when they have one-to-one devices or they are set up to enter the site with a email. If you do the class code, it does not work, okay? You cannot send things back. So I can, you know, then I can click on whoever, I mean, like this one. And I can see their work. I can see if they did what I asked them to do. And right here where it says comment, you can either comment something, you know, type it in, or you can actually record something for them. And it only goes to that child. It doesn't go to everybody else. So, hold on, let me just admit somebody else. If kids, for example, let's say they want to do something, they want to just post something or send you their work that they've been doing at home, they don't have to wait for an activity to be assigned to them. They can go into the journals, the journal part of this. And so let's say I'm gonna go to a sample student. And let's say I wanted to.
Rushing into your party so late.
No worries. How are you?
Good.
So if I were if I were a student, I wanted to submit, you know, a picture of the work that I'm doing today, I would go into this ad. I would post student work, and then it gives you all of these icons, right? So students would see this. I would, you know, let's say I wanted to take a picture. If it would load. Oh, I guess since I'm using the camera for something else, it's not letting me. But basically, if you click on the camera, basically you just take a picture and then click on that green check mark that would be over here, and it goes right in there. It already has their name. They don't even need to put their name, which is terrible. They're gonna get used to not putting their names. But so creating, let's see, what else can I tell you?
This review at the bottom.
Yes. Okay. So this is perfect actually. On the teacher's view, when I go into, so right now I'm in 4A, right? And it's telling me that there's 8 unapproved posts. So there's 8 things that kids have posted that either the 4 of us, one of us has not reviewed. We're gonna go and see what's there. So there's something, you know, from Adriana, that's from scratch. So if we had folders, I would then just go to my folder and only review my folders. But for now, you know, we are not doing that. So there's that stuff from Adriana. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Is there a way to filter that out? Because I get, you know, I get little alerts every time one of your kids finishes, or Miss Crash. Every time a kid finishes a assignment, and I don't know if it's from me or you or.
You might have checked when you set it up. You might have checked to receive notifications all the time, and I'm not even sure how to turn those off.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I was saying, that if we had folders, then you would go into, like, you would go right here on approved items, and I would just click on whatever folder that I wanted. So I would just click on, right now there's not going to be anything. But if I only wanted to review my math work, then I would go and do this. I would go to unapproved items, click on the folder, and then click on the right folder that you want to review. Okay, and that way you're not gonna be seeing everybody else's, like all of this, that's Miss Crash's. There's some science stuff right there. So, you know, the four of us, we kind of just leave it alone, because until the other teacher, since it's not mine, I'm not gonna be.
Right now I'm only using it for SOAR, but I'll probably start using it ELA a little more.
So I want to show you a few of the things that I've assigned to my kids in math. I've been using it quite a bit for both grades. So let's see, in 5th grade, I assigned them this, multiplying fractions by fractions using models, okay? And so they had to, this is what it looked like. They had to get, so this was like the sample, and then they had to, there were 2 fractions that they had to show me how to use models to, here, I'm gonna show you this one. So they had to show me with models how, you know, how to represent 3/5 times 4/6. And then, so it's super easy. They, you know, they have markers and highlighters and whatever, and they just kind of
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing this from the help desk point of view.
Uh-huh.
Do they print these papers out, then color them in?
I'm sorry, I did not hear you. You're breaking up.
And then they take a picture with their laptop, or how are they sending it back to you?
Okay, so there's multiple ways. They can, usually they just do it right on the tablet.
You can't hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
I'm having issues.
I can hear you now.
They print the paper, they print it out?
No, there's no printing required at all. They just do it straight on the app. And if they have a mobile device, it's even easier, because then they just do it with their finger. They don't even need to.
Okay, but they're doing it on their device.
Yes.
Directly on the screen. It was super easy to do.
So that is one way. Or let's say if they're doing their math work or whatever work on their reader's notebook, then they take a picture from the device. So they go, so let's say they want to submit something. I'm trying to get, let me try to see, I'm not very good at this, getting into.
Roberta, that's why the iPads are easier with this.
Well, I understand that. So are they at home using laptops and taking pictures?
You can, yes, you can also, I've had kids that have laptops, because they basically stand in front of the camera with their whatever paper it is, and then they just click that check mark and it goes straight in. So there's no printing at all. You don't need to print anything, or
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get out of this app to take the picture?
No. It's all in here. I'm trying to, and I knew how to do this. And of course, now that I'm, you know, in the hot seat, I cannot remember how to show you, if I were a student, how to do it. Here, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna be a sample student. Let's see if I can add something.
There's a little thing on the bottom. There should be.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm letting you down on this one.
Go down.
I was, so Robert, I know from the help desk, I wish I could show you right now how it looks like.
Carolina,
I'll get with you later.
The student receives, like I've seen Nico doing it, and Nico receives the link. He clicks on the link and he's right there. Like everything he needs to do is right there. If he needs to take a camera, there's a camera. Whatever he needs to do is right there. Like he didn't even have to go back to the email or look up, nothing. Everything he needed was assigned right there. And also to submit it, to do the whole thing. So in the student's point of view, it was super easy to do.
So they don't have to print this and color it or whatever.
No, whatever the teacher assigned him to do, it was right there. Like
having
Miss
internet
Rosa assigned him
problems.
to the social studies, and it said,
All right, go ahead. I got it now.
All right, so Roberta, I finally found it. So this is kind of like what I assigned, and I created this one, right? So this is kind of like what they saw, and it says, use the template below to show 2 different fraction multiplication problems using models. So then they would go into this template, and right in here, I mean, it would be bigger in their screen, because this would be now the big screen, right? And they would use all the tools that it shows you electronically. It gives you a marker, a pencil, a highlighter, a text box, I mean, you name it, and then they start doing what they needed to do.
Oh, cool.
is it easy to create the assignment, Colorado?
Oh, yes, it's super. Here, let me create one assignment right now. That I'm better at than showing you what it looks like as a.
Let me mute myself a second.
So let's say I'm gonna create a new assignment. I'm gonna assign activity.
You have to have an account first, right?
Yes, you have to have an account, and that's what we said at the very beginning. And right now they're free, so just you go to create new activity. So let's say it's gonna be, I don't know, fraction multiplication. Right here, I'm gonna type my instructions for my students. I can type them, or I could record them if I wanted to.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're running out of time, guys. We'll end in 10 minutes, but that's okay. So I can just, create a problem using fractions, right? There's a few little icons that they tell you, and you would need to download, have like something. So for example, if I want them to take a picture, I know that it's colon, and I just say camera. And then when the students see it, they see the little icon and they just click on the camera and it pops up. But those are little, I can send you those icon shortcuts later on, okay?
Yes,
And then I would just say, once you're done, and I'm not putting capital letters, but imagine everything's perfect, okay? Click the green check mark, okay? And then I would just do this. I would put the little icon of the check mark, and that's it, okay? So let's say I wanted to add something to it. Like I wanted to add a page that I already have. You can add multimedia instructions or examples right here, and you can upload PDFs, pictures, whatever it is that you wanted, a link, whatever it is that you want to add to this assignment that you're creating, you can just do it from here. But I'm not doing any of that. I just save it. And it's right there. That's it. That's my new assignment that I just created that I'm just gonna delete because it's kind of lame. But but yeah, it's super easy to create things, and it's if you create those folders for, even if you're the only teacher, like you create your own folders, that something for math, something for language arts, whatever. Then when you're trying to see who submitted that assignment, it's going to be so much easier for you guys to
Yeah,
do
the
it.
folders will be easier. That's something I haven't done.
Well, we didn't know. I went on a live webinar yesterday with SeeSaw because that was driving me crazy, and also the fact that some of the 4th graders, I could not send their work back, and it was something in our setup. So,
but it's very interesting to see what you're doing, and you're.
Oh, you can go into my. Oh no, I guess yes, you can see what the 5th graders have been doing.
Activities are that the kids did.
Yeah. So I hope I answered some of your questions, guys, or that I did not confuse you more.
Then when you're done with the assignment, you put a sign and you have to send it to each email?
Right here, I would just say I'm assigning it to, the demo class. And I'm assigning it right now. I will click this. If I wanted to schedule it, I would click that, but I'm gonna assign it right now. So that's it, it's assigned, done. And now it's there, it's already assigned. And if I want to go and see what has been assigned, I go to my demo class right here. I click on activities to see what has been assigned, and there's that one. So I want to add a response. Oh, this is what the student sees. So if I wanted to add a response, I say, yes, I'm the sample student, and I would see this. Okay, so I want to draw. okay? And I would just get my little marker and become all creative. And I'm gonna say 3, and I'm using my mouse, so it's much harder than using my little finger, but if I had an iPad, times 2/7, all right? And so I'm gonna say that I'm gonna do cross multiplication like that. And so this is gonna equal 3 times 2 is 6, 5 times 7 is 35. And it's all simplified. And let's say I'm done, but no, I'm not done. I actually wanna tell Ms. Cuadrado something. I wanna record something. So I'm gonna say, so Ms. Cuadrado, what I did is I multiplied 3/5 times 2/7 and whatever. So then I'm done. And then I just click done up here and submit it. And that's it.
Oh, perfect.
And then Mrs. Cuadrado would be able to see it in her own feed. And actually now it gives you this option. Am I done? I can save it as a draft. If I'm not done, I can,
How did you submit?
right here, the
What
green
is-
check mark, right here.
Yeah.
Right there.
Let me see, you went too
I don't
fast
think you
there.
can see it.
I'm a
Yeah.
slow learner.
You need to
On the
minimize
right-hand
the
side,
screen.
on the right hand, upper right hand, there's always a green check mark. They must be sure to click that or it does, and then you see the submitted. And so see, right now I see on my journal, I see what my students submitted, and this is what I would see as a teacher.
Okay.
Which is then great. You know, I can then see, and I don't like what she did, well, I can comment on it, or I can, you know, prove it, and that's it.
And can all the other kids see what they submit or no?
The kids usually only see their own stuff, their own work. They don't see other people's work unless when you set up your class, you also set up a, highlight the thing that says set up a class blog or something like that, and then you see it, then they see everybody else's stuff, like in a blog. But otherwise, they only see their work, and families only see their work. I mean, their kids.
Mhm. Okay,
So
thank you.
that's it. Thank you. I hope
Awesome.
this helped.
Yes.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina,
That was
welcome.
great.
as always.
I hope so. I don't even know how to stop share. There we go.
Thank
All right, there we are. Oh, hi, Dr. Brown. I thought you were not going to be coming.
You're muted.
All right. Yeah, he's muted. Here, we'll
Oh,
unmute him. But yeah, I think
Alright,
we're about to.
All right, thanks.
all right.
All right. Oh, thank you.
Bye.
It was awesome.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Again.
All right, I'm going to end this meeting. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ms. Cordero.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.